to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much.
What happened there? What happened there? I've had a couple of odd things happen. Just as I started the stream, it suddenly said to me, it's starting in 22 minutes. Goodness knows what's happened, and my mic's all screwed up as well. Let's try that. That's a bit better. Yeah, it suddenly said I've got 22 minutes till the stream. I had to refresh. Weird. Anyway, I hope you're all right. Hope you're... do you want to get this right? Is that a bit better? That's a bit better for me. I do like to hear myself just a little bit in my ears. Otherwise it feels dead. Yeah, and then my webcam wasn't on at first. Never mind, go figure. So who we got in here tonight? Let's scroll back and have a quick look. Quite a few people, which is nice to see, and some names that are new as well. So we've got Judy Bassett. Good evening, Judy. Tiny Captain, Turtle Moves, Heat Shield, Demon Orb, Jeff C, FE Peer Review. Says he was asleep, falling asleep in his chair, but we'll be back in an hour. Well, I hope you had a good little kit there, Effie. And we got Colon no less. Good evening, Colon. And scrolling down, Next Pro. Good evening, Mr. Bond. And VTuber Zoomi, who is a mod, which means VTuber Zoomi has changed their name from something to VTuber Zoomi, because I don't recognise the name. What on earth is up with this? Hello. How weird. Hope it's not having a problem. I think it's all right. Watto UK. Yeah, Watto. For some reason, I seem to have missed out on the mask, but not now. Really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it yet, there should be a link. Yeah, there's a link in the description to the new channel for me and Sally, which is called First Time Watching, where we show first time reactions to movies that we haven't seen. And the last one that just was out a couple of days ago, I think it was Jim Carrey in The Mask. Brilliant fun. Really enjoyed that. Really did. So who else have we got? Rich901. Hello. Brian Pop Robson. And Dora and Co, of course. You're always here, Dora. Do you actually sit here on my channel waiting for me to stream? I don't know, but you're always here and you're always welcome. And the Rich Noons, Robski. Right then, Mr. S, entertain me. Lol. I can't. Well, I don't really know what to say. Would you like some chocolate? It's very sensible. Oh yeah, Mr. Sensible Chocolate. Available in good stores near you. I wonder if it tastes as good as it looks though. See underneath for best before date and ingredients. I wonder if there's actually any chocolate in it. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks nice. I look forward to that. Yeah, it's a little Christmas present. Mr. Sensible Chocolate. Nice one. Dora needs more hair and makeup. You need more hair and makeup, or I do, Dora? I'm not sure that I do. I think I'm fine. Donald, hello to you. Matt Shaw, 9 o'clock here, and Flerf. The mask was great. You guys looked like you enjoyed it. We did enjoy it, Ranty. We really did. It was a good, fun film. Thoroughly recommended. But from what I can gather, most people seem to have seen it. Not everyone, because was it Watto? No, Watto couldn't believe it. Someone else said they hadn't seen it either. Bob Nadell's Gyroscope. Good evening. Thanks, Bob. Cheesy chocolate. Oh, no, cheesy chocolate. Like my chocolate, like I like Mr. Sensible, without any hair on it. Nice one. Loved your last destruction of that scammer. Which scammer was that, Matt? Which scammer? I saw that MC Toon did rather a good takedown of a genuine real-world scammer and generally disgusting person. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Really worth watching. Very much so. Oh, Jezza the Random Reviewer, member for 11 months. Howdy everyone. Hope you're all well. Hand wave. Yeah, and I hope you are too, Jezza, and thank you for your continuing support. I'd never would push it, but if anyone wants to become a member, actually I can't see the button. Oh yes, the join button. That sounds good, doesn't it? Join. You can join and become a member, and you also get a bunch of cool emojis that you can use. Let's just put a few of them up here at random. Those sort of emojis. Special emojis just for members. Or you could become a patron. Anyway. Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Eric. Happy New Year. I had rather an interesting time yesterday evening. I decided I was going to pop into Bev Try Thinking server and have a bit of a chat. And I just popped into the side of the chat on his Discord, and they were all talking Bible stuff. So I left it because, people have got their religious beliefs. I'm not trying to have a pop at them. And it's not as though they were discussing something like, was Noah's Ark real, or creation versus evolution? They were just talking about biblical stuff. So I left them to it. And then one of them actually sent me a DM saying, "Did you want to talk, Mr. S?" So I said, yeah, but I'll come back in a little while. And I did. And I had rather an interesting discussion. It was me versus about 10 Bev and Bevites, or Bevies. I'm not sure what they are. Bevlings? Not sure. But it was quite good. And there was someone on there who was rather interesting, an old foe, who tried to stay, what's the word, incognito. But I sussed him out. I recognised his voice. So I did record it, and I'll probably release that as a live premiere tomorrow. It's quite a long one, but as a live premiere, we can chat about what's being said. I think it'll be fun. So that's the plan. Probably tomorrow evening, either 8:30, 9 p.m. UK time, real time, not these foreign muck times. They're all strange and they're wrong. I mean, right now the time is 8 minutes past 9. Anyone else is wrong. Definitely. And Nimrod super chatted 20 Swedish kroner. Thank you, Nimrod. I'm not here, and neither is this sex message. Gotcha. How's your cat? My cat's here, Mr. Arnold. Come on, Arnold. Oh, he's having a bit of a kip. So you're probably not too happy, are you? Are you? You're going to go from Arnold? Or do you want... You've got some important sleeping to do. Okay. Say goodnight, Arn. Oh, it looks like he's dead, doesn't it? He's not up to much. You're not up to much, Arnold. Look at that. He could be one of these ragdoll cats. Good boy. Oh, well. He's joined us anyway, which is nice. So I don't know what else everyone else has been up to. Oh, if they peer review, you woke up. I hope you had a good little sleep. Flerfism is a religion. Well, that's true, Schmoku. Schmoku. Schmokau. I don't know how to say that. S. Yeah, Flerfism does seem to be a bit of a religion. I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to know the proportion of people who are flat earthers who are religious. I suspect it's going to be a rather large majority of them. But turning it around the other way, what proportion of the religious are flat earthers? A tiny proportion. Therefore, believing in the flat earth is not a requirement of, as far as I'm aware, any religion. Apart from the religion of stupidity and dumb. VTube Zoomi used to be Chrisma. I've said it 3 times, I'll not say it again. Unless you don't notice, then I'll keep saying it. Well, I'll probably forget for a couple of times before I get used to that. Oh, Spaceballs recommends Flow Rider. Do you know, I'm wondering... I mean, I know the movie, it's the one with Dark Helmet or something. I've forgotten the guy's name. I'm not sure if I've seen it or not. I'll bear that in mind. Not sure. Yeah, real life bagpuss. He is. He's old and saggy and a bit loose at the seams. But Emily loves him. He's a good lad. Zuki is cooled up in the radiator. Quite right. Rick Moranis. Thank you, Dora. Yes, who was also in Ghostbusters, wasn't he? Was the key... Was it the locksmith or key maker or something? I don't know. I can't remember. Hey, Bob Nadell's gyroscope. Hey there, Globemon, pleasure as always. Okay, that's between the two of you. You knock yourselves out. Yes, Mel Brooks, Spaceballs. Rick Gatekeeper. That was it. And I've forgotten what Sigourney Weaver was. Apart from hot. She is hot. I do like Sigourney Weaver. She's a good-looking woman, even now. That's right, Keymaster. Thank you, Gary Donnelly. And Jez the Random Reviewer. And Brian Pop Robson. Wow, we got a clever bunch in tonight. But then we have a clever bunch in every night, don't we? Definitely. So tonight, I just wanted a bit of a chat about Elon Musk. I'm not anti-Elon. I'm not pro-Elon either. But, many people really, really sing the praises of him. And it's true that he has a lot of ideas. But I have a lot of ideas. That doesn't mean that they're good. Like that hyperloop thing. What a stupid and dangerous idea. As thoroughly debunked, as someone else highlighted earlier, by Thunderfoot. Utter stupid idea. And I've just seen another super chat come up from Now Pinion. Hey, last time I saw you, you were on the moon. Happy New Year to you and Arnold. Thank you, Now, and a Happy New Year to you and both your daughters. I saw them both recently, didn't I? Man Devil, hello, I'm nude here. Knock yourself out, man. Knock yourself out. This is an understanding house. If that floats your boat, you go ahead. Me, I've got my leather boxer shorts on, so I won't be standing up. Modern day scam artist. Yeah. Well, he's obviously got... Oh, yeah, Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest. Oh, yes. Is he a scam artist? Well, he's a rich man. He doesn't need the money, does he? I'm not quite sure what it is. Is it a power trip thing? Ego trip? I've really no idea. But the whole thing with Hyperloop is absolutely crazy. There's so many ridiculous problems. It's making a fantastically complex solution to a problem, which is going to introduce endless other problems. Like, for instance, how do you get it down, the air pressure inside the tubes low enough? Any train, for want of a better word, that's going to travel along it has obviously got to let passengers on and off, which means it's got to be some form of airlock. So that's going to take time to pressurise, depressurise. What happens if there's a problem with the train? If it loses pressure, the passengers are dead. What happens if the actual tube gives way, or if someone attacked it in some way? Suddenly you've got a tube several miles long, partially evacuated of air, that's going to collapse. What happens if there is a crash? It's just ridiculous. What about the cost of it? Absolutely phenomenal cost. I just can't believe that they go ahead with it. I can imagine someone saying, do you know what, hey, why don't we do sort of maglev trains in an evacuated tube? They go really fast. And yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, hold on, let's think about it. What about this? What about that? They just don't seem to have done that. They just chucked money at it and gone for it. I don't think it's going to be happening. And yeah, next, Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie ever made. Definitely. If anyone who hasn't seen that, you've got to. Absolutely brilliant film. By Grabthar's Hammer. Elon Musk sounds like a new cologne. Andreas Elt has no opinion on Elon, but has a question about tea that only an Englishman can answer. Oh, go ahead then, Andreas. I'll try and catch it. And Lexitivium, you're wrong. Elon Musk presents problems to solve their solutions. Yeah. I don't know what's happened with Hyperloop. They built a short stretch, didn't they, to prove the concept, and they ran tiny little cars along it. Yeah. But Mr. Andret, yes, you mentioned boring in Las Vegas. That's the other thing which made me think of Elon tonight, and I've got it ready on my screen, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. Definitely. Hyperloop will never happen. Dangerous and expensive. Yeah, there's just no chance of that happening. There really isn't. And I'm talking as someone who loves technology. I really am. And the idea of new transportation systems, yep. I wanted to have a go on one of those. I mean, they're silly little things. I've forgotten what they're called now. You know those two-wheel electric things that sort of self-balance? I've forgotten what they're called now. I'd love to have a go on one of those. They look great fun. I did see one at a car show. This guy was riding around. It was actually converted to be a two-wheel wheelchair. And when he stopped, he could put down sort of a stand, so so we could switch off to save power, and it would just lean back against a stand. But because he's not standing up and leaning backwards and forwards to control it, he had a little joystick, and as he moved the joystick forward, the seat would slide forward slightly to move his weight forward, and then the whole thing would go forwards or backwards. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And if I recall, and this is going back a few years, that was around £12,000 worth. So it's rather expensive. Segway, yes, that was it. Yeah, because that was the transportation system that was going to change the world. It hasn't. But I'm not against it. Definitely not against it. When the Channel Tunnel between the UK and France opened, I was itching for a ride on it, and I've been on it probably about 12 times. There and back, 6 trips times 2, 12. Got it? I know you got it because you guys are bright, as I already said. That's absolutely phenomenal. A wonderful system with the twin tubes and the safety tube in between. It's the smoothest ride you could get. Absolutely brilliant. Perfect solution. Rather expensive, rather difficult to build, but a perfect solution. Hyperloop isn't. Absolutely crazy. And what's more, it's not the space that's the problem. In the States, you've got enough space to build wider roads. You could build double-decker roads, couldn't you, if you were worried about space? Why all this business about the idea of tunnelling? I don't know. I suppose in a city you haven't got the space, but then you can have a subway system, couldn't you? Or an elevated railway. This loop thing is absolute junk. The Sinclair C4 truck fodder. I've sat in a Sinclair C5 many years ago. Surprisingly comfortable, actually, because if you imagine a bicycle handlebars, they're actually sort of just under your knees because your legs are slightly bent. Wasn't allowed to ride it. It was in a store, but sat in it, and it was actually surprisingly comfortable. But I wouldn't like to be out on the road in one. No way. If I'm going to watch videos tonight, maybe we could take a look at Eric Laithwaite, the father of Maglev. Made awesome videos in the 70s. Yeah, well, it's actually a newspaper report. There are some clips of videos. Definitely. Good morning to Osiris 2000 in Australia. G'day, mate. Crack me a tinny and throw a shrimp on the barbie. Definitely. It's not really a tinny, is it? J2O. Monorail. Has anyone been on a funicular? I went on a funicular a couple of times. Last time I was in Germany. Fascinating things. There was talk of a bridge connecting Northern Ireland and Scotland. More practical to tunnel rather than go above, as the North Sea is very unstable. There was also talk of building a bridge, wasn't there, between the two peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro. Yeah, that was my twin brother. I think I might set out an expedition to see if we can find any trace of his expedition. We'll get there, don't worry. Yeah, definitely. And have we? Oh, we got quite a few people coming in. I'll get a few people in a minute. So actually, let's have a look at this thing then. If we get set up. Yeah, it's a story today in the Daily Mail because let me bring it over, then I can see what I'm seeing. Move things around a bit. Story in the Daily Mail because the Vegas Loop, Elon Musk's Vegas Loop, is open as part of the CES show in Las Vegas. And this is a bit of a problem. So let's have a look. If a car catches fire, people would die. This is my first look at the tunnel, a completed section of tunnel, because when I've seen it before, it was just the bare bones tunnel. It doesn't look very good. These cars are stuck in a traffic jam at 4 miles per hour. How the hell is this going to solve Las Vegas's traffic problems? Yeah, apparently the speed limit is 40 for them, 40 miles an hour. Now, driving along... Oh, what happened there? Oh no, the story's gone. I'm going to have to find it again. It's just done a refresh. Why has it done that? Oh, there he is. Yeah, apparently the idea is you can drive up to 40 miles per hour. Look how narrow those lanes are. Now, I know that lanes in the UK are a lot narrower than the US, so for an American driver, that's really narrow. But I think that's pretty damn narrow for someone from the UK who's used to comparatively narrow lanes. That looks like the width of lanes in roadworks. So if you are driving at 40 miles an hour, and for whatever reason you lose it and hit against that wall, you've stuffed everybody up that's behind you. There's actually a bit more video, so I'll go on to the actual story itself. I think that's the same thing, but you can see how narrow that is. I'll just read that out. David Oliver, member for 10 months, since we're a member. I'm interested in superconducting trains. And why not? Why not? I mean, I'd love to have a go on a bullet train. Are they no, they're conventional, aren't they? They're not maglev type things, but I'd love to have a go on a bullet train. But yeah, so this tunnel thing. Here's a video. I'll make sure I switch the sound off. This guy's at the CES, and it looks like they're almost taxi drivered around, and they come across a traffic jam. Apparently there's only 3 stations and one of them was shut, and there's parking, I think, for about 17 vehicles. Not too clever. And would you like to be in there if there's a fire? Apparently there is smoke evacuation systems, but there's no emergency tunnel. You know, like with the Channel Tunnel, you've got 2 train tunnels, one going each way, and you have an evacuation tunnel in between, a safe area to get to. You've got nothing there. And if we're talking about electric cars with lithium-ion batteries, if one of those caught fire, how are you going to put it out? Halon? And kill all the people in the tunnel? I don't think you can use water. I'm not sure what you'd use. But you've got people there. There's this view of the station. Yeah, very nice and modern. But I can see, there's 6 cars there. And I think there may be a couple more spaces. It does not look very efficient. This is 1.7 miles long and cost $52.5 million. That's over $30 million per mile. I think conventional roads will be somewhat cheaper. I think an elevated road would be cheaper. I think trains would be cheaper. That is hideously expensive. There's another view. Oh, it looks like there's perhaps parking for 8 at this station. He's invented a really, really expensive subway system. So he's applied his idea and technology and come up with a worse idea than that which we've got already. You think how many people cram onto tube trains and that? How is this going to compete with that? How is this a better solution? Yeah. Oh, it says apparently 29 parking spaces throughout the 3 stations. Whoopee-doo. Whoopee-doo. I think there was actually another... Oh, here it is. A video from within. Yeah, sounds off. So we can see a bit of a view of it. I've not watched this all. Let me just jump forward to the station. There we go. It's the same station by the looks of it. It's just single track road that happens to be underground. Apparently, although this one is 40 mile an hour limit, with their prototype, they reckon you could travel up to 150 miles per hour. 150 miles per hour. If someone loses it driving along, it'd be like the Italian job with the minis in the drains. As soon as one car breaks down, everyone stops. If one car has a hideous crash, everyone stops, and how the hell are you going to recover it unless you back up some sort of recovery truck from the far end? What about the case of a medical emergency? You're not going to be able to get oh gosh, look at that. You're not going to be able to get ambulances and that in there. Let's whiz it on a bit. Oh, there we go. So can you imagine travelling along that 150 miles per hour? Now, I'm not what's the word? I'm not scared of small spaces, but that is dangerous. So dangerous. There is next to no room for error in that, and you're scraping against the sides. It's the most ridiculous thing I have seen. All these millions and millions of dollars to make a single track road for a few vehicles. What's this? A solution for the rich, perhaps? Everyone else can like it and lump it. But no, not for me. I honestly don't think I'd be travelling in that. Not because I'm against Elon. Honestly, I'm absolutely not against him. He may have come up with a brilliant idea, but that, I think it's just more pictures of the same. But that is not it. Traffic jams in your traffic solution. Sorry, I can't read that name, but the smallest error in that speed and your soap. Absolutely. There is no room for manoeuvre. You just have no leeway to... so I'm just taking this back off again. You have no leeway for correction. It's an absolute death trap. It's worse than I thought it would be. Hey, Mr. Sensible, you're late to the party. Thunderfoot has been addressing the issue for ages. Oh, yes. No, I'm a big fan of Thunderfoot, Golden. And I've certainly seen all this stuff about hyperloop, and he did some about this tunnel, I think. But this is actually seeing the tunnel in action, which I'd not seen before. He showed stuff with those elevators where you supposedly drive onto it. It would take your car down to the tunnel, leaving a bloody great hole in the road. How long would it take to cycle for an elevator to lift you down from road surface down to this level so you could safely drive off, as opposed to people arriving at the station, going down escalators? Hundreds and hundreds of people. Here you do it one car at a time, many of which I presume will only have one or two people in. It's the most inefficient, ridiculous, expensive, dangerous idea that is more stupid than the history of stupid itself. Definitely. Well, if the autopilot drives, it's all right. Well, autopilot, I guess you're going to have to take away manual control under a situation like that. I think that's almost a given. And I know they do. There was the idea of putting the cars on some sort of pods, but it's a bit pointless, isn't it? It's just so you can flog more Teslas, perhaps. Wouldn't it be easier to perhaps design a better subway train? I don't know. Another Musk debunker, quite good. Oh, Common Sense Skeptic. Thank you. So that's something to check out as well. So let's get some people in. Right, the first one was Next Pro. Let's make sure I've got my desktop on. So here's a 30-second warning, Next Pro. So I'll get you in here and we'll have a bit of a chat, and we'll get some of the others in as well. Any F1 car would be a more exciting ride down that silly tunnel. It would be almost more fun to actually get 3 minis in red, white and blue, of course, and recreate the Italian job. It's just mad. But that, like I said, that's the first time I've seen it. I saw the pictures of the initial tunnel and I thought it looked quite small. I hadn't realised quite how small, because that's tiny. Okay, Next Pro, let's get you in here. Where are you? Hello, good evening, Next Pro.
Good evening, how are you?
Hello, Next Pro.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, hang on. What am I going to do?
Right, I've got you on absolute maximum and I can't hear you. Oh, hold on, is that me? Say something else. Nothing's coming through.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, maybe it's my mic.
Got me?
Go on, try again.
The others could hear me. I seemed to be alright when I was in there. So
Yeah, it could be my mic settings.
yeah, I was okay in the live waiting room.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think you're particularly loud though.
Yeah, I'm not particularly loud, but everyone could hear me in the
Yeah,
live waiting room.
yeah, that seems all right now. Anyway, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine. How about yourself?
Yes, not too bad at all. Oh, do you know, I don't like this though because I can't hear myself and it feels like I've got my ears plugged. I do like to get a little bit of feedback, but then I can't hear you for some reason. Try again.
That's kind of weird.
No, I got you now, I think. Hopefully that's better. Yes, so what do you think of all this Musk stuff then?
Well, are we actually live on air right now?
Yeah, but don't tell anyone else.
So what I've got to do, I'll quickly mute the YouTube stream, haven't I?
You have. Anyone got a deck of cards while he mutes the YouTube stream?
No, that's done. That's done. So everything's going really well, except you've made one slight error. What you've done when you dragged me in here, you've popped me in the corner, and I'm facing into the corner, and I can't see anything. So if you could reach over and spin me around.
You can't see anything. What?
It's got to spin me around so I can see. Go on, reach across. There you go. Tell me when you've done it.
Done it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, it's quite cozy in here, isn't it?
Now you're roboting. Now you're roboting.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently you are very quiet. I have got you switched on 200%. It will not go any higher. That's odd. Okay. So it's not just me.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just quickly. It'll take me 5 seconds. Hang on.
Okay. Anyone see the game last night? Never mind. We have these issues. He's going to come back on and blast our ears out. I know. Elon Musk rap.
Right. Is that any better?
Oh, God. Hold on. Don't. Shut up. I've got to turn that down. Blind me. God. Try again.
Is that any better?
That's absolute... Yes. I've now got you turned down by 15% over normal, rather than 200% of normal.
That's weird. I adjusted my mic by 10%. That's all.
Wow, it's made a big difference. Yes, so we were just saying about Elon Musk and his, well, I guess hyperloop and that other loop, Vegas loop thing.
You've been dissing the hyperloop. Now, just remember, you know, it's really quite simple. All you got to do is put a hockey table in a vacuum tube. What could be difficult about that?
This is true. But I do just want to, sorry to interrupt you, because I want to give a shout out to Mohammed Shafiq, who is in the chat there. Mohammed has been following the channel for a long time. We've chatted a few times, and he's got a channel, and he has done battle with the likes of Kate Shemarani and Piers Corbyn and all those deniers and anti-vaxxers and other conspiracy nuts. And he's suffered quite strongly from attacks from them against his channel as well. But twice now, his channel and his Twitter feed has been picked up by newspapers. And there's one from the past couple of days. You can see a link to it in my community page. Mohammed Shafiq, you keep up the good work. If the newspapers are using you as a source, you're doing something right. Well done, pal. Yeah. Sorry, where were we next? You were saying about the Hyperloop.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's nothing ridiculous about it at all. All we've got to do is solve the problem of having an incredibly long tube that's going to expand at different temperatures.
Yeah.
The fact that if anything goes wrong, everyone inside's going to melt.
Yes, I don't know quite how you'll have expansion joints, because when I've seen gas pipes, every now and then they either have a loop or a turn, just so you've got to allow for that little bit of movement. You think of rails for trains, they have to have little gaps between them.
Indeed, yeah. So the thing is, he's actually walked away from that. I don't think he's involved in it at all. So.
Oh, right.
The other past, so.
Yes. Well, I could understand that. Come up with an idea like that, get everyone excited, and then leave them to sort out the mess.
Now, Vegas is a silly enough place already without introducing this weird tunnel thing. See, I've been to Vegas 3 times. The second 2 times I went just to make sure that I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. I've never been. I wouldn't mind going to see it, but there's plenty of other places I would rather go to, so I'll spend my time, effort and money going to other places first. But I can't really speak for Vegas. I've not been there. I'm sure it's gaudy and fun.
Yes, but the reason you're not going to go there, of course, is there's no specific cheese local to the area.
No, that's true. Oh, by the way, if someone could put a link... Oh, actually, Mohammed, you are a mod anyway. Please put a link to your channel so that people can check it out. Okay? Yeah. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind going to the area. And I suppose if I was in the area, I would go to Vegas. I'm not a gambler. I'd probably have a go at something just for fun, but not to gamble. It's one of those places. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, you've got to go off and do the canyon. The canyon is so worthwhile.
The Grand Canyon?
Indeed.
I've done it. It
Oh,
is
okay.
wonderful, absolutely wonderful. When I pulled up, because you park quite close to the rim, pulled up and I deliberately didn't look at the canyon. I got out the car and I was looking at my feet as I walked out onto one of the promontories, walked right to the railing, held the railing, took a breath, looked up, and I was speechless because it was 10 miles to the other side. And the mighty Colorado River, you could just see it. It's this little bitty little stream down at the bottom. Absolutely phenomenal. Definitely. It really is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, isn't it?
Indeed. So on one of the trips that I was on there, we were in a Chevy V8 minibus.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd just been busted for speeding, which took quite a lot of time. And we were late, and so we weren't going to get to the spot we intended to view the sunset at. So we just kind of made a quick decision. We'll go to this place here because it's near and convenient. Pulled up, and then a car pulled up next to our van, and Don got out of the van and swore at the other driver.
Right.
Because it was his next door neighbour from London.
Hold on. Maybe this is an apocryphal story, because I've told that same or very, very similar story. A guy I used to work with, actually, he decided to go on holiday in the States, went to the Grand Canyon, looked at it, thought this is fabulous, turned around and he was face to face with his next door neighbour. But this is it. Maybe if you want to see your neighbour, you have to go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, we were not at the place we intended to be.
Yeah.
It was only because we got stopped for speeding that we ended up there. And so that's just bananas.
Well, it's a phenomenal place, isn't it? And I honestly don't think, unless you've seen it, you really can't grasp the enormity of it. And I don't think any description, any photograph, or even film of it. When I went to the Grand Canyon National Park, there was an IMAX cinema there. And I'd never been to an IMAX before at that time, and I thought, hey, I'll go and see it. And it was a film about the Grand Canyon and the Native Americans that used to live there and so on. It was a fascinating film, but they flew either with a drone or a helicopter out across the canyon on IMAX. You think, wow, this is stunning, but it's still nothing, absolutely nothing compared to the real thing.
So did you take the time to actually walk down it, inside it?
No. I just didn't have time for that. I was only there for an hour or two, just appreciating the view, you know.
Go back, do the walk. I actually went down to, I think it's called Indian Springs down there. Everyone else stayed there. Indian Gardens. Everyone else stayed there, but I carried on all the way to the rim, and I sat on the edge of this cliff with my legs dangling over the edge, about 1,000-foot drop, vertical, and I had my sandwiches. It was fantastic.
Yeah, well, 2 things. 1, I don't do heights, and 2, I'm quite nervous of places that are high up. I realise that really that's the same thing, but it's such a biggie, I thought it was worth mentioning twice. But actually, I couldn't, I literally physically couldn't do that sort of thing, I'm afraid, for medical reasons. I would love to, but I couldn't.
I'm terrified of ladders.
Yes. Well, I mean, I also had gone to Meteor Crater, and that's, I can't remember, is it a mile across? But it's about 4 miles around the rim, and you can walk about a third of the way round. And then there's a promontory, and it's a rock that literally sticks out over the drop. And people were going out onto this rock, turning around, having photos. And I thought, brilliant. So I handed my camera off to someone, walked out onto it. Oh, that's a bit high. Turned around, had my photo. And then I thought, I'm stood about a foot from the edge of this, and I could barely walk back. My legs were like jelly. I don't know how I actually got myself into that position. But that's another thing that I would recommend, Grand Canyon, Meteor Crater. And I've had a super chat from David Oliver for £5. Mr. S, what do you think of The Line, a very long ruler-shaped city in the desert? Just as ridiculous if you ask me. I've not heard of that. The Line. No, not heard of it. I do like the desert. That was my primary reason for being in the area. I'd gone for a work trip, a training course, 2-week training course. They sent me to Arizona, to Phoenix, and I made the most of being there when I could to get out into the sort of desert and tour. Because I went to Painted Desert, Petrified Forest, Meteor Crater, Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, and down to Tombstone as well. all of which I loved, absolutely loved.
Going back to the crater.
Well, Barringer Crater.
Yeah. We know that it was formed by was it an iron meteorite?
Well, it was a meteorite, yeah, and they've got a large chunk of it there.
Yeah, and my question is, where's the hatch in the dome that let it in?
Maybe it's a part of the dome. I don't know. Maybe it's like a chandelier. Maybe there were two suns and one of them dropped. I don't know. Well, the other thing, who was it? I can't remember. I did do a video about it. One of these sort of flat earther types was saying, if these craters were caused by meteorites, where are the meteorites? Oh dear. Oh dear. And of course, they also say why the craters all round, not knowing that at those sort of speeds, it doesn't matter what angle you come in, you'll leave a round crater.
Indeed, yeah. So if they want to inspect a meteorite, they should go to the Hayden Planetarium in New York, and they can put their hands on a giant piece of meteoric iron.
Well, at the Barringer Crater, the visitor centre there, they've got a big piece of meteorite which you can touch there. I think it's about, from memory, about 4 foot long. It's pretty big chunk.
And just imagine you're touching something that's older than this planet.
And even older than Mrs. Sensible. I know.
And most of my T-shirts.
Well, let's get a couple people in. I'll tell you what, why don't you choose who we get in next?
That's
It's nasty, isn't it? Yeah.
I think maybe, how about Zoomi Arastra Star?
Why not? So, Zoomi, which is not a name I recognise, so if it's your first time in here, mute your stream, get your mic and headphones on, we'll get you in here in just a few seconds. Yeah, this is a new technique I've come up with. Then no one can moan at me, Mr. Sensible, why didn't you pick me? Well, it wasn't down to me, it was Next Pro. It was their fault. I think it's quite a neat solution to it. But then Zoomi can choose the next one, can't they?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, when you flipped me round earlier, you actually stuck your thumb in my ear. You might want to wash your hands.
Well, I'm glad it was your ear and not anywhere else. Let's get Zoomi in. Hello, Zoomi. Good evening to you.
Hello. I'm actually I used to be Christopher.
Now how many names have you got? How many names have you got?
I'm transitioning. I'm transitioning to female.
So. Okay.
Congratulations.
That's why my voice is different. I'm trying to train my voice.
Wow, that must be quite difficult. Do you have to think about it a lot when you're doing it?
Not lately, because I've gotten so used to it that it's just coming naturally.
I had never thought about that side of things. Never have. Because, I mean, some people have deeper voices or higher voices anyway, whichever way they're transitioning. I never thought about them actually thinking, I'm going to positively try and speak in this way or that way. That never crossed my mind.
It did take concentration at first, but now it's like it comes naturally, and it actually would take concentration for me to use my old voice. So.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a dumb question. Okay, and this is a genuine question. How long does it take, or is it totally different for different people? Not just for a transition.
Oh, a transition. It takes. Well, it's different for different people.
Yeah.
Usually it takes around a year just for them to evaluate you to get you on HRT, just to make sure you're there, psychologically and everything, and.
Yeah, because it's not something you really want to make a mistake with, is it?
No, it isn't. Because once you start HRT, you're kind of, once you're getting into like 4 to 5 months of HRT, which I haven't started yet, then you get to this part where it's like a no going back zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I'd not thought of that because I'd wonder, if I presume that there's hormone treatments whichever way you're going. So I would have, I'm speaking to someone with next to no knowledge of it. I would have thought, well, if you've gone along so far, provided you haven't had surgery, then you could perhaps take the opposite treatment to go back again. Is that not the case?
Well, okay. from male to female, you basically take testosterone blockers as well as progesterone, well, female estrogen
Yeah.
supplements to increase your estrogen while decreasing your testosterone. And that can cause infertility. Well, not infertility, but can cause impotence in some men. In some men, it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
all, situation. It's all to the individual. So I don't know what effect it's going to have on me until I
Yeah.
actually start. So
Okay. And do you mind talking about this? Because I mean, it's a private thing, but,
no, I don't mind talking about it,
Okay.
sweetie.
Okay. So, what about friends and family? Was it difficult telling them? Did they accept
I
it?
haven't told my family yet.
Wow. Have you got any
My
idea?
my family's very conservative,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, good luck when you do. I mean, I presume at some point there's going to be a question in their mind, isn't there?
Yeah.
Is something happening? What is happening? Why is it happening? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always been very effeminate to begin with.
Yes.
So,
So maybe they think it's a possibility anyway. Well, I hope that when you come to it, that they're understanding and accepting.
yeah, I hope so too. But I've come out to all my friends on the internet, and
Yeah. Well, I think that's a brilliant start, isn't it? It's going to get you in the mindset of talking to people about it. What about work? There's
I'm disabled. So
Okay.
that's not a thing.
Okay, because I know there's someone at my work who's transitioned male to female, and she now wears female clothes. I've no idea. It's not someone I directly work with, so I've no idea about how far they've gone, with surgery or anything like that. But that it's out there, and she wears a badge saying she, her. So it's not hidden. But my workplace is a workplace where if people treated someone badly because of something like that, they would be in big trouble. They really would. So for her, it's a pretty safe environment, but it's still a tough thing to do.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough to come out in real life, and it was so easy to come out online because this community is very accepting of this. So
Well, I'm glad.
I haven't had anyone say anything yet, but
Well,
I know there's
can I be
probably
honest? At some point,
Yeah.
you are going to have someone, aren't you?
know.
And I'm sure it'll be very hurtful, but it will happen.
I know it will.
Yeah, just rise above. We know what some. Now, I'm not going to cast that onto flat earthers, because equally it could come from someone on the other side. So I'm not making this a flat globe thing. But with regard to flat, we know how vicious some of them can be.
Trust me, I know, sweetie, I know.
So yeah. Well, good. And I've just noticed your avatar. Is that a new avatar as well?
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually becoming a VTuber. So a VTuber is a person who streams using a virtual 3D avatar, or 2D as well.
Okay. So I mean, so you come out on the internet. Do you have plans yet for friends and family, or is there one particular person who you think you might be able to come out to, and then with their help come out to other members of family and friends?
Well, like I said, my entire family. I only have my brother and my aunt.
Yeah.
So my aunt lives all the way in across the country from me. So they're both very conservative people, but my aunt is more accepting. So I'm probably going to come out to her first.
And do you know, I think that generally, this is just painting painting a sort of general picture. I got a feeling that generally women are more accepting of it than men. I could be wrong and probably unfair, but that's the feeling I get.
Depending, because I did have an aunt that lives close by who made the claim that trans people don't even exist because God didn't create them that way. So who are they to question God's plan? And I'm like, Please,
Yeah,
you have no idea.
but they also say things like homosexuality is evil. God wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? God hates homosexuals. Although God seems to have made quite a few animals that engage in homosexual activity for some reason. So there we go.
Almost every animal does.
Yep, definitely. Wow. Now it's your turn to pick someone else to come in. Just as Nick chose the last one. Who do you want to come in?
Brainless.
Brainless. Okay, let's get Brainless in. So there's a few seconds warning for you, Brainless. So do you have any firm plans of when you're going to do this then?
I'm still waiting on my insurance to come through.
No, sorry. I meant about the telling family.
Oh, that. Probably halfway through HRT.
Right. What do you mean? Once you reach the point where there's no going back?
Yeah, probably around that time.
Well,
whenever the actual features start showing.
Yes. Yeah. There's going to be a point where you're going to have to, aren't you? I suppose. Well, good luck with it. So let's get Brainless in. Hello, Brainless. Good evening to you.
Sorry to sidetrack, by the way.
Sorry, say again.
Sorry to sidetrack, by the way.
No, not at all. They're open to talk anything. I mean, we chatted about Elon, and I'm quite happy to do more chat about Elon, but that's just as interesting to chat about, and I have learnt stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, as difficult as the concept may be for any one of us, it's got to be more difficult for you. So,
not really.
So, I'm sorry, say again.
Really.
No, good. Not
really. Not a difficult concept at all for me, because
that's who you are.
I've known for a long time. I've just denied it for about 40 years now.
It must be a great weight off your mind then, to know you made a decision.
So much.
Good. I'm glad. Hello, Brainless.
Yeah. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
How are you?
Not so bad. I'm just going to knock your volume down a little. You're coming through louder than last time. I'll just keep it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Generally, people's mics are set the same, so once I've set them, they're good the next time, but occasionally need a little bit of tweaking.
I think in between I got a headset now, so.
Okay. Well, it's nice and clear anyway. So, how are you?
Good.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, but still busy. So, with work, so.
Well, that's good stuff.
Better
than the other one.
At work, I still haven't noticed anything about Corona, so.
Well.
Except, like, sometimes colleagues having to quarantine, but yeah.
Yeah, we've got a number that are quarantining, but we've got 4 off that are positive COVID in my department. And
surprise!
Yes, and there's someone else I've heard about who has actually been working at home. Well, they're working at home now, but they had been very ill. They've got long COVID. They've had it for around a year. They can now manage a few hours work on a laptop at home. That's it.
Had it for a year. Okay.
Yeah, long COVID. Oh, I just seen that comment by Microraptor. Thank you, Microraptor. I mean, we're all different. I don't have full knowledge of the things that Zoomi was talking about, and I think asking a question is the way to learn. I'm sure I'd make mistakes.
Yeah. I know everything you were asking in respect, and you were genuinely curious.
Yes, and listen. The one thing I do know, Zoomi, is at some point I'm sure I'd make a mistake and say he or she when it's the wrong thing. You know, if I do, it's literally that's a mistake. That's not a disrespect thing. It's a mistake, and my apologies in advance if I do. I will try my best, and I do my best.
I understand completely. It's hard to adjust for some people because, I mean, I've been he for so long that it's.
Well, I am totally accepting of it. I remember going back a few years just after it came a legal thing here in the UK. I was at someone's house talking to this lady, and she was saying how she was getting married the next day. And, we were just talking, and I said, "Oh, so who's your husband?" And she pointed to this other lady and said, "She is." Oh, I'd never come across that before. It literally only a few months before had become a legal thing. I have no problem with it. It was literally, oh my God, I'll put my foot in it because I just assumed, you know?
Yeah.
And Zoomi, you're not alone. I've got 4 trans friends in the States, all involved in tech, and one of whom is extremely dyslexic, who I taught to be a programmer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm dyslexic as well.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Well, hang on a minute. Is that 2 more students?
And
No, I'm not. I'm just a little mouse girl, little mouse brain. I can never wrap my head around that stuff.
what coding?
Yeah, I have been trying lately to get into Blender, just so I can make my avatar a little bit better, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how to convert it to VRM.
Well, don't ask me. I haven't got the faintest idea.
I've actually been paid to use Blender.
Oh, then maybe Nespro can help me convert it then.
Yeah, so what happened, the company I was working for, they needed a plug-in for Blender to allow people like you to have their avatar in our system that we were doing. Yeah. And so I wrote a plug-in to convert avatars from Adobe to be used and worked on in Blender really easily, and delivered the code. We tested it, and the day after I delivered the code and got paid on it, Blender in the next release had solved the problem. We didn't need my plugin anymore.
Well, that's all right. You got your money.
Wow.
I would have got paid anyway. The company was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's coding is the only thing that I think is one of the things that I missed from when I was with my son's mom, because if I would have stayed with them, I think he would be programming by now. He's 9 now, but yeah, he's got the mind for it. He can do it, but he needs some stimulation.
Well, I always enjoyed coding. I started when I was 13. I just always enjoyed it. It's something that I found fascinating. That was
these days the way to get into it is so easy. There are such easy programs.
Yes.
And like Google has a whole website dedicated to learning coding.
Well, I was showing I was talking to my daughter about coding just in the past couple of days, and I showed her some assembly code, and of course most people nowadays wouldn't be going anywhere near that sort of level, down to that level. It would be using
load a register.
I know. It's hard to believe how many steps you have to take to do something simple. But then you design a well-written assembly program, it will go like the proverbial off a shovel. Way faster than something written in a high-level language that's either compiled or compiled on the fly, which is even worse.
Now remember, true engineers always index at 1.
Yeah, but programmers index from 0. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a programmer joke. Sorry.
And computer freaks always peek before they poke.
So the great thing is, Silicon Valley, all these software companies, they're very, very accepting of trans people.
Because what difference does it make? This is the thing.
Yeah.
It's your mind and your
mind.
Yeah.
And I think
they understand that absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think a big thing about that is the people that you have working for you, they have no interaction with your customers. So
yeah,
whatever your customer thinks, you don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
If you're like a store in the middle of a small town in Texas, like if you put a transgender person at the checkout, you will get customers that are gonna bitch about it.
You definitely would, yeah.
You know? So
I mean, the customers are wrong, but it's a problem for the business, isn't it?
yeah.
I'd like to rephrase what I said. What I should have said was welcoming rather than accepting.
Yeah.
And like there's no difference. Like you're a person, and yeah.
I am. I'm a person. I didn't realize that.
No, but like yeah.
I'm sorry. I was...
I get the joke now, but like yeah, I feel like there is no difference, you know, like.
Well, there isn't, is there?
No.
And there certainly shouldn't be. You know.
Well, obviously there are differences, because otherwise, if there was no difference, you would not be transitioning. But as a person, you don't have less value.
Yeah.
And it's
There are some people though with less value. That's the bigots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think also for a lot of them it is how they were brought up, and they don't know any better.
Yeah, there is that. So I mean, some understanding going the other way can help. It can help actually broach that problem. You know, it is their problem, but a helping hand from the other side might get them over it. Just seen a message from Doran Koo saying, as a programmer, I judge people by their code, not by their looks, religion, gender, whatever. Just don't talk to me. I feel you. Yeah, definitely.
So the person that made that comment, please don't judge my code too harshly, because even I hate it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, but
See, I'm so far back in coding that I code in GW Basic.
GW Basic.
Yeah, GW Basic. Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah.
Not heard of GW.
That's the second version of Basic that existed, I believe.
That's the second.
Basic, GW Basic, and then it went to Visual Basic, I believe.
Yeah, I've used Visual Basic, but I mean the first version I used was just Basic. I didn't know it was anything else.
What are these things of which you speak? I use punch cards.
Punch cards. Oh, I've got a hand punch here. I've shown you guys before. I've got hand punch and punch cards. I mean,
that's awesome. By the way, that punch machine's awesome.
You lot and your punch cards are wimps. Real computers use these. This is a valve. This is a valve. For those who don't know, this is a valve that was taken off the Colossus machine, the world's first electronic and still working computer, from the computer centre at Bletchley Park.
Excuse me, but the National Museum of Computing is looking for that.
Yes, and they're not going to get it back. But that was how I got talking about code with my daughter the other day, because this came up in conversation, and I showed her, and I actually pulled up a picture of Colossus, zoomed in, and you could see these very same valves in situ. So, I mean, it's obviously not an original valve from when the machine was first built, but it is run on Colossus, which makes it just that little bit special.
And maybe your viewers are not aware that the term debugging comes from valve computers where moths would get in there.
Yeah.
And one of the tasks was to go around and pull the bugs out of the computer, literally.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the first bug that ever happened to has actually been taped to an actual punch card and has been preserved in America.
Oh, fantastic!
The very first computer bug.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
Ha ha ha, 274727, 2 bites meet. The first bite asks, are you ill? The second bite replies, no, just feeling a bit off. Oh dear. The old ones are the best, and that's a very old one. Well, so Brainless, you were last in. Your turn to choose someone to bring in next.
Let's see. Oh! I think you know who you're gonna pull in. He just popped in.
No.
Yeah.
Who would you like? It's your brainless. It's your choice. Gary Wybenga in the house. Let's get Gary in then. I know you guys will be nice.
Oh yeah,
Gary knows me.
I will be the most polite individual you have ever met.
Hello, Gary. Gary Wybenga, you're in the house. How are you, Gary?
He's muted.
He is muted,
He's muted.
but not by me. Gary.
Is the Gary bot going to say anything tonight?
Well, if he literally just came in, maybe he was still sorting out. Gary, what we'll do is we'll give you one more chance. Gary. No. Okay, I'll pop him back into the live waiting room. But we'll try and bring Gary in a little while, okay?
We took him by surprise.
We did. And he'd only just got there. So, Gary, if you're listening, we'll try again in a little while. Thank you. So you better choose someone else then, Brainless.
Well, if we can't have a flat earther, then maybe an ex-flat earther.
Oh,
Ranty.
Okay, let's bring Let's bring Ranty in. Let's try. Hello, Ranty. How are you? Hello, Ranty. Have I got a nice little cuttlefish for you?
He's muted.
He's here.
Oh, he's back.
Howdy. How's it going?
We got a Ranty in the house. Hello. Yep, all fine here, sir. And you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Good conversation going at the minute.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to chat about anything. I mean, I'll often get a theme, but I'm not going to berate people for going off topic, because if it's something that I very firmly wanted to do, a debunk or something, or a debate, then I wouldn't pull people in. If people are in, then the conversation goes where it goes.
Well, how about watching The Green Mile then on your next upload?
Brilliant film. It's a brilliant film.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen it, yes.
Damn it.
Absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, I missed the last one. I saw it was The Mask.
Yeah.
I still got to watch that one.
If you don't cry during The Green Mile, there is something wrong with you.
I think you're probably right.
Or at least get close to it. Yeah. That's that movie is
That
deep.
movie had me in tears. I'm swearing it.
I've been reading some of the comments. You've got some very, very smart viewers.
Of course. But which comments are those?
all the smart ones.
That'll be all of them though. Oh yeah, that one. It says, "Hey, if you like this stream, don't forget to subscribe." That's stream, lads.
That's a
Clever
very
bloke.
smart
Clever
comment.
bloke.
Very clever.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got some very, very clever people in this whole community across all of the debunker channels. I really do.
I've learnt so much about sextants.
So have I. I think
Sextants?
Yes.
Sextants?
Sex dance.
I've learned a lot too.
I love sextants. I love going out in the woods with a nice tent.
The real problem is, though, of course, unfortunately, the flat earthers have learnt jack shit about sextants.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Flatzoid's taught me quite a lot, actually.
Oh, has he? What's he taught you?
A 60-degree right angle.
True.
Which I never knew existed.
No.
A 60-degree right angle. Okay.
Yes, that the sextant has. Everybody knows that.
Even I understand that. That's shit.
Also, we've learned that a P1000 can reach out over the horizon and bring an oil tanker back over the horizon. Except it can't, can it?
Yeah,
And
well,
that Danny person on MC Tunes the other day was quite the scam artist.
oh yes, that's the one I just Separd, wasn't it? Danny Separd.
Separate or something like
Yeah.
that.
So. Sorry, Bob Nadell's gyroscope says he's pretty smart. He's got 15 degrees. Thanks, Bob.
Per hour even.
Yes, per hour. Blimey, but
Gracias, Roberto.
we've been running an hour 10, so you're on to your next 15. Great stuff.
Settings. Daniel Settings.
Seppings, yeah.
Oh, Seppings, him, yeah. He was busted well and truly.
Yeah.
Holy
That was
Haven't they all?
brilliant.
Ranty.
No,
Oh!
this was
Do you see Charlie Welch says MC2 not only buried him, his channel's gone now. Nice one.
Seppings' channel's been taken down.
That's what he's saying. Well done, MC Toon.
Guys, I really think though that he probably could have let the authorities handle that as well, because how many people he robbed essentially?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. All
Yeah,
of
but
that.
the authorities might have done it and nobody would have seen his face. They've got a record of what he looks like currently. So all those people
True.
that he's harmed, you know,
Mm.
and the next scam that he tries to pull, people will be aware of it.
Well, I
That's
just,
$207,000
I think that there may have been an
as well.
issue getting Gary Wybenga in here, so I'll just try it again. Gary, can you hear us now?
He's still muted.
Yeah, still muted.
He's
Someone said he
still
never
muted.
left the waiting room. He's definitely not in the waiting room now. He's gone back to waiting room, so that's fine. I'm not going to force him to stay on if he doesn't want to or can't right now. That's fine, not a problem. We tried. We
So
tried.
whoever chose Gary has to choose someone else now.
They did. They chose Ranty. That was you.
Oh.
Oh no, it was
That
Brainless.
was me. That was me. Come on, don't insult him by comparing him to me.
He's unmuted now, so maybe he can come back in.
Oh, Gary Wybenga, if you want to come in, just post a message in the chat and we'll bring you in. Because I don't want to keep dragging him. Maybe he's having a chat with someone else in the live waiting room, so that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, so yeah, I knew next to nothing about sextants. I knew that mariners use them to find out where they are by looking at the stars and the sun. That was about it. I know a hell of a lot more about them now. I bet I still couldn't use one though.
Well,
The only thing
I've
I
always
know
loved
about-
sextants. I've always loved sextants.
The only thing I know about sextants are they really fun.
No,
Except
but
for
like,
the mosquitoes. Except for the mosquitoes. That's not that's not a fun part of it.
but yeah, like I also learned a lot about it, mainly from you, Mr. Sensible.
Oh, thank you. I just seem to
you did the work, and I just
reap the
acquired some
benefit.
knowledge.
Yeah, but it's enough knowledge to know that they're wrong and why they're wrong. It's not enough knowledge to use one, which obviously takes a great deal of skill as well as the knowledge, and knowledge way beyond what any of us lot have all discussed. I think the person who's come closest to the detailed knowledge and detailed explanation is Bob the Science Guy. But Tiny Captain, I've seen Tiny have arguments with him, has just said the only thing that he learnt from Flerf's about sextant is that he never found his way at sea, but somehow he found his way. Yeah, it's funny that, Tiny. I presume then you weren't using nautical sky miles or whatever the hell it was Brian's logic was talking about. Unbelievable.
So one thing you need to be aware of is that Flatzoid and Mitchell from Australia are currently working on a sextant that does work on the flat Earth, and it's going to use triflateration.
Ah, that'll be good, wouldn't it?
It's-
Unbelievable.
Flat Earthers come up with the craziest, stupidest things, don't they?
Oh, now says FTFE and Bumpy Earther. Is that Bumpy Earther? I wonder if that's the guy that I had on here before. I thought his name was Bumpy 420 or something.
He's hip hop hippie.
That's the same one. Yeah, they're going to do a debate about sextants. That will be a slaughter. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that's on MC Tunes, isn't it? Well, that's Skatoon, isn't it? It's on Skatoon tomorrow.
Oh, is
yeah.
it? What, FTFE and Bumpy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sorry, I saw Micro's comment.
Which one was that?
Well, with a sextant, you use nautical miles.
Oh,
Nautical miles.
So some sort of phone sex. Oh my goodness. This channel's going downhill, isn't it?
No, it's running up the hill, man. It's only
Oh, that's
getting better.
Tuesday. That's Tuesday at 7. Okay, that's okay.
Hey, can I just say about that Seppings though? That Seppings
Yeah,
guy?
go ahead.
Because what most Globers would have picked up on would have been all his crimes, right? So they would have been calling him out for all the things that MC Toon exposed. And the one thing that stuck out to me, because I was an ex-Flat Earther, was understanding what the Flat Earthers would have seen. Now, he was claiming to be a Flat Earther, so they can accept that. He's a Flat Earther, we can forgive his past transgressions, right? So everything that MC Toon brought up, no problem. But he was wearing a NASA shirt.
Ah,
Yeah.
With
I
the
noticed
NASA logo. And that is something that he would never be forgiven for. So,
well,
if he was trying to slink into the flat Earth, right, he may have been able to ride that wave if he'd had a normal T-shirt on.
Well, I've just been sent a message saying Gary Wybenga's internet has dropped out and it's back again. So I'm going to try Gary again. He's showing us unmuted. So Gary, we'll give it another crack. See if we can get you in here. Hello, Gary. How's it going? Oh, nearly.
Nearly there.
Hello?
Hey, got you, Gary. How are you?
There he goes.
Sorry, I was driving through a bad area for a while there. I lose connection all the time.
That's all right. That's all right. How are you then?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. I don't know what you think about the various topics that have come up tonight.
I haven't heard the whole thing, so I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
What, a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of Elon Musk?
I didn't hear any of the Elon Musk stuff.
We were just trashing his hyperloop and his whatever that car loop underground tunnel crap thing was. I mean, you've got hardware, software, vaporware, and I think he presents bullshitware.
And the hyperloop wasn't even a new idea. It's
No.
been around since the 1870s.
I know. And they were talking about trying to make seals from leather. Oh, Gary's audio could be higher. Okay, thank you. I'll turn it up a bit. So you're travelling far then, Gary?
I'm only about 5 miles from home right now.
All right. So not enough to see the curve then.
Well, I'm going around a curve, but it's not a downward curve.
I think the problem is Gary's still on 4G and he needs to get on 5G. It would help out a lot if he was on 5G.
Well, they don't have 5G here, but my phone is a 5G phone.
Oh, okay.
So you're not worried about 5G and COVID then, Gary?
No, I don't worry about it.
Good.
Get out of it. He doesn't worry about it because he thinks he already knows the answers.
Yeah, probably.
He thinks C doesn't exist, and he avoids all the hotspots. That's why he hasn't got any signal.
Yeah.
I live in a little farming town. They don't have 5G.
Nice to hear your voice again, Gary. You haven't spoken for over a week.
Has it been a whole week?
At least.
Yeah.
I just join when I can.
So Gary, are you producing more videos lately?
No, I keep intending to. I just never get around to it.
Well, I'm glad.
Another one on Flat Earth.
So another flat Earth one. Okay. Any particular aspect?
Another Polaris one. Yeah, I gotta explain a few things to Extra J in the chat that he just doesn't comprehend. So.
Okay, and I'm sure they could.
Too hard to do little short messages in chat.
Right, well, it looks like we've got some sort of spam bot trying in the live chat.
So it's already been dealt.
Yeah, I see. So if it comes back again, if one of the mods can deal with it quickly, that'd be great. You'll do a fine job, my mods. Thank you. Appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And I don't say that often enough. I do a bit of modding on other people's channels when I'm on there. It's harder than it looks.
Bots are getting worse and worse. Bots are getting worse and worse. That's why it's better to put it on subscriber only mode. But I mean, not everyone likes to do that because
Well, you cut some people out. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's better to do it because you get rid of the bots that way.
Not really, because basically you just set it for 1 minute or up to 5 minutes, basically, from the time somebody becomes a subscriber, that they can actually start participating. So
you can set it instantly. You can set it instantly as soon as they subscribe. They can start chatting.
Yeah, but then I prefer to do it 5 minutes because it just makes them even eager to speak than when they when the 5 minutes runs out.
True.
But then you get more subscribers. People hang around as well. So
yeah.
Well, people who want to comment would obviously have to subscribe. They could, of course, unsubscribe afterwards. But then on the other hand, if people are commenting and getting engaged, I would have thought that they're reasonably likely to subscribe, even if they disagree with you, just so that they can come back for next. I don't know. It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it sometime.
But also, I don't get what is the goal of those bots.
Well,
Just
certainly
annoy
ones
people?
with messages that just come up that almost look like some random letters. They're not links or anything, so I don't know.
They're links. If you get rid of the spacing between the names, I've gone to several of the sites that they
I
have
see.
broadcast. They're all porn sites.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All porn.
So,
It's all porn.
Control C.
What type of porn is it?
Just normal.
Flat
normal
porn. Flat porn.
Yeah, flat porn. It's flat earth porn.
It's not
Pictures
it doesn't show curvature then.
Yeah,
No.
it's a flat earth in a bikini. That's all it is.
Sorry, a quick operational question for you, Mr. Sensible. Did you get clearance from NASA Control to actually show that control panel that's behind you?
That's the secret. It's the big board, but I can't really keep it all covered. I'm afraid, you know.
Yeah,
I just look. That looks natural. I'll stay like that. That hides nearly all of it.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you don't show the panel that's just out of shot on the left. Okay, that would be very, very dangerous.
Is that the one with the CRM 114 discriminator?
Don't say a thing.
Oh no! Sorry guys. My aircon. It's not actually doing ordinary whistle. It's because the cold weather. The radiator ices up, so it goes into reverse to melt the ice. It's actually blowing out cold air right now, but it's squeaking. I'll have to just switch it off.
Look. Just fess up. It's the oxygen. Yeah, so it's the carbon dioxide.
Whoa!
Scrubber, isn't it,
Oh,
really?
sorry, too many bottles. It's the what?
It's the carbon dioxide scrubber.
Yeah, Osiris 2000. It's my aircon air source heat pump. So I'm going up to the backup heater now, which should be all right. That just makes that other one is switching off. It's just winding down now. Sorry about that. I know it sounds bad. Well, it doesn't sound too bad in here. I only just noticed it. There we go. But on the mic, yeah, it squeals. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounded like a mouse on us squeaking.
And Andreas Elt, if the option's there, then you can try. If you click on the three dots, you may be able to read it. It's nothing exciting. It's 3 letters, dot, space, 3 letters. As I think Zoomi said, it's some shortened link to a porn site or something.
Yeah, that's all it is to say. Spaced out link to porn site.
So it's a bit of a fail, really. Yeah. Maybe I'll try a subscriber only sometime. See how it affects things. What happened to my play button? Oh, my play button's still here, Mr. Andrat. My cheese play button, you mean? I've still got that.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, hold on, we have to get it, aren't we?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, like, we need to see it now.
Okay. But nobody look at the big board behind me.
Okay, so let's
Hey,
see. Where are they sending the missiles?
Oh, for goodness sake, it's showing the schematics. Okay, schematics are off. Okay, that's good.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Right, here we go. So,
You revealed some of the schematics.
yeah. Oh, sorry. We'll just change the design. Okay. This was my 1,000 subscriber special play button as of the 6th of September 2019, made of real cheese. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
That is no longer cheese. There is no cheese left in that.
Well, it's also an experiment in evolution. Oh yeah. Smell the goodness, cheesy goodness.
Oh my goodness.
But
I can
then
smell
again,
it from here.
then
Is
again,
that actually one of those plastic encased cheese slices?
Yes. I had to carefully unwrap it. I cut the play triangle out of it and then rewrapped it and then put it behind glass. It did whiff for a while, but no, can't smell it now.
you just got used to it.
Probably, but it has actually moved. I don't know if you can see. It's not quite level now. This side has come down a bit, so it's gradually trying to make an escape.
Yeah.
Due to its relative density, I think. I'm not sure.
It's
I need to
it's
discuss
viral,
that
it's in the past.
more with Mr. Anthony Riley to find out if relative density is the cause.
It's not slipping, it's evolving and literally trying to escape from the
Yeah,
past.
I mean, you've seen those. What are they called? The Jesus fish that are on backs of cars, and then the Darwins. But there's going to be a cheese one as well, with little legs on. So thanks for asking about the play button. The play button's doing fine. The play button's got more life in it than this is sensible. Yes, and flat Earth.
It's probably petrified by now.
Oh, I missed a trick there though, didn't I? I should have made a cheese flat Earth one. Cut out all the continents. See how that lasted. That would have been interesting.
Oh, God.
But I was really pleased when I thought of it at the time. I thought I was inspired.
Oh, you could still do that. Make the.
Yeah,
I could.
The
I
cheese
could.
Earth.
Level cheese observer. So yeah, how long is that? That was September 2019.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, 3 months. Wow. But it seems to have stopped. It's got so far. Maybe it's waiting. It's like punctuated equilibrium sort of evolution. So we'll come down, and suddenly it'll have changed vastly next time I come down. That sort of thing. I don't know. But the actual play button cut out. You used to be able to see the white of the paper. Now it's yellow. So.
Surprise, surprise.
But the rest of the paper's okay. It's just behind there. So. Oh.
What?
S. Aston says this month's NASA moon meeting is cancelled. Keep quiet or we'll install 5G. Damn.
I didn't hear about that.
You didn't get the memo. You didn't get the memo.
Yeah, Karen in HR never gave us the memo.
Never mind.
Karen's always slipping. We've got to fire Karen. Seriously.
Good night, Brian Pop Robson. Thanks for coming, pal.
Good night.
Good night.
So, Ranty, you were last in. Do you want to choose someone else to come in now?
I thought Gary was the last one in.
Oh, he was. Are you still here, Gary?
Oh, do I not get a choice now?
Yeah, yeah. Someone else had chosen Gary. That was Brainless chose Gary, didn't you?
Oh yeah, finally.
Yeah. So Ranty, you
That's
choose
fine.
someone. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get Lone Tech in.
Lone Tech. Okay, let's get Lone Tech in. Oh, things
Gary,
just moved
Gary's
around.
off.
Rage quit.
Well, let's get Lone Tech in. Hello, Lone Tech. Oh, Tiny Captain thinks the cheese is hibernating and it will be a face hugger soon. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, and you're coming through clear. I don't think you've been on before, have you?
Probably not.
Oh, you're not sure? My channel is that memorable. So,
that says a lot, doesn't it?
Anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome, Lone Tech. So I don't know what you have thought about any of the topics we've talked about so far tonight.
I probably missed them because I just logged in.
Oh, right. Okay. So are you someone with a channel? Are you Flat Earth? Are you Globe Earth?
Well, my channel has absolutely nothing interesting, only a spherical video test or something. And, well, I happen to live in reality, which does have a rather round planet.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, sorry. I just saw Now says pick Andreas next because you want to hear his tea question. I forgot all about his tea question. Wow. I don't know. Had he mentioned to you what his tea question is, Lone?
No, I have no idea.
No, none of us
Is
do.
it about the microscopic teapot that's orbiting the Earth?
Could be, couldn't it? Or was that orbiting Jupiter? Where was the teapot supposed to be?
Where is the teapot supposed to be? I can't remember.
No. Anyone else know? Someone in there will know where the teapot's supposed to be orbiting. I thought it was somewhere like Jupiter or somewhere up there.
Teapot?
Yeah, I can't remember what the argument was.
I can't remember either.
Well,
I just remember something about a teapot orbiting somewhere in space.
Okay,
Russell's teapot.
I know there is a car in space, but a teapot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell's Russell's teapot.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it was about. Was it talking about the likelihood of life elsewhere? I can't remember. Russell's teapot, in between Earth and Mars, says Dora.
Yeah.
My kitchen, says Mr. Toffees.
It's supposed to illustrate that the philosophic burden of proof lies upon a person making empirically unfalsifiable claims rather than shifting the burden of disproof to others. So it's about shifting the burden of disproof.
Yep, makes sense. Yeah, if you're going to say there's a teapot out there, you need a bit of evidence.
Like saying, if you're going to prove a god, then you have to prove that Russell's teapot doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. Or, well, I suppose it's just a different version of the flying spaghetti monster, isn't it? Although that's not saying you need to disprove it. It's just saying they demand equal time for that to be taught as well. And quite right,
exactly.
too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to say that God exists and you want to teach that in the classroom, then you're going to have to teach about the Aztec gods as well as the Mayans, the Incans, the Olmecs, Hindu.
What about Ra?
Shinto,
Don't leave Ra out of this.
Egyptian,
Oh,
Greek,
yeah.
North.
Why are Asana
Roman.
being left out?
Why what?
The Scandinavians, everything.
There you go.
Yeah, all of them.
Every
all
other,
of them.
every other god that exists, you have to teach as well.
Yeah.
It won't leave much time for anything else, but at least it's fair.
Every other god that doesn't exist. Every other god. That exists. Every other god
Oh.
that somebody thought of. You mean?
And it's funny that flat earthers call y'all the sun worshippers, where you have an actual sun worshipper in here.
Yes, I did see. Oh, it was. Hence your name, I presume. I did see someone say early on about being a sun worshipper.
No, my name has nothing to do
Wasn't
with sun worshiper, but
Oh, I thought it was part of Arastra Star. Oh, sorry.
no. Arastra Starkin is. That's another story.
Okay, that's fine. But AndreasElt says the Babelfish is proof of the non-existence of God. Yeah. Well, I mean, it caused more wars than anything else, didn't it?
But yeah, I'm an Aztec believer, and it's all about Huitzilopochtli, which is the fifth sun god. Blah 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 blah. I'm not getting into that.
Well, apparently the James Webb Telescope has now travelled 70% of the distance to Lagrange 2. Nice one. Go James Webb Telescope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to when we get the first images from that.
Oh yeah.
They'll be able to see right back to the start of time, about 6,000 years ago, apparently.
Hey, Kent. Oh, sorry. I take that back. I cannot insult you like that. No, sorry.
What about
Not
Matt?
even as a joke.
We can insult Matt Powell. Definitely Matt Powell.
God, Matt Powell. He's the worst.
He's pretty bad, isn't he? Well, look, I'm dying now to know what Andreas's tea question is, so I'm going to get Andreas in. Because he hasn't given any clues in the chat.
Yay,
Or if he did, I missed it. Hello, Andreas. Andreas.
Oh,
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, we're all waiting on your tea question.
yes. Ah. No.
You're here.
Yes, I'm here, but now I don't hear.
You don't hear us.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
You're not saying anything. Just as simple. Yes.
Yep.
Well, I was watching an old episode of Doctor Who,
Yep.
the Shada,
Okay.
and where the old professor offers tea, and then he says 1 lump or 2,
Yes.
and then he asks sugar.
Oh.
I thought the lumps were sugar.
The lumps are sugar. 1 sugar lump or 2.
Well, or you got lumpy milk.
Well, it could be if the milk's gone off.
Ah.
Well spotted, Andreas. Yes, 1 lump or
Yeah.
2 is 1 sugar lump or 2. Definitely. Yes.
But
I
he
was
out
I
of
was
milk.
expecting
He was out of milk, so maybe his old milk was lumpy.
maybe he's gone to emergency backup dog's milk. There's always plenty because no bugger will drink it. But I was looking forward to a question about tea that may change our understanding of the universe, but apparently not.
I've got such a question.
No, Arthur Dent already got through that one.
I have such a question.
Yes.
Milk, honey, sugar, or lemon?
All of it.
Just a bit of sugar.
Milk and sugar.
Milk and sugar.
Yeah.
Not honey?
No, not honey.
No.
I mean, some people may, but that would be very uncommon. Your common thing is milk and sugar, and many people will have neither of those.
You're all wrong.
I'm sorry?
Why? You're all wrong.
Why's that?
It depends on what tea you're
Well,
drinking.
yes, that's true. Because if it was a herbal tea, you don't want to put milk in it. But Earl Grey, I believe, shouldn't that be with lemon? But I don't like Earl Grey.
No, that
Earl
should
Grey
be
is
illegal.
with honey. Earl Grey
It's
is always
integrated.
with honey. You always put honey in Earl Grey.
I've
That could kind of mask the taste of Earl Grey, yeah.
Oh, I love Earl Grey, especially with honey. Oh, God.
No.
Well,
You wouldn't
Demon
have
Orb.
lemon in Earl Grey because you already have bergamot in it.
Well, Demon Orb suggested Baldric coffee. Is that milk,
Gosh.
Baldric? Or no, spat in it.
Baldric from the Blackadder?
Yes.
Johnson Peckfire has a perfect accessible example as well. Whiskey.
FE peer review says milk in tea, milk and a bit of sugar in coffee. Well, I have milk in both. I have 1 sugar in a coffee, 1.5 in tea. Or in this cup, I have 3.
Herbal tea
go.
also gets honey. Herbal tea is also good with honey.
I don't drink it. Just don't like it. It's not to me. It's not a real tea. Although having said that, if I've gone to a Chinese restaurant, I'll quite happily have a cup of Chinese tea afterwards. So, and in effect, that's more.
My favorite tea was always this nice little North Korean tea I found as a rosehip tea, and it tastes like roses smell.
Okay.
There's no other way I can describe it.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, with Earl Grey, I found it too floral, and that interferes with the taste for me.
Oh, I love Earl Grey. That's the thing I love about Earl Grey is that it's floral.
Yeah.
It's that bouquet.
I mean, I have.
Bouquet gives it a nice hit. It gets a nice throat hit.
I have builder's tea. Builder's tea. So when I'm at work, I put my tea bag in, put the water in, go out for a vape for a good 10 minutes, then come back and add the milk. Actually, I put in the tea and the sugar because the sugar helps bring out the flavour. But yeah, mine sits and brews for 10 minutes. Mrs S, when I make her a cup of tea, put the tea bag in, pour the water in, and basically straight away take the tea bag out, perhaps dunk it a couple of times. That's it. There's nothing. Yeah. And then she says, "Oh, this is horrible. You've let it brew." What do you mean brew? I barely put the packet next to it.
For me, that's more because I'm impatient. But yeah, and I usually drink tea at work.
Well, you gotta let it steep.
So I gotta hurry up. So then I don't have time to let it brew for 10 minutes.
Well, actually, one thing I did forget with the coffee, I almost always put in some caramel. Oh yeah, that makes it.
Oh yes, caramel and coffee is always good.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Well,
I prefer my mocha coffee myself, but caramel coffee is acceptable as well.
Oh, Matt Jackson saying, "Won't it be cold about the tea?" Well, it's this cup I take to work, and it's a vacuum cup, like a thermos flask. So no, it doesn't get cold in that time.
Those keep it nice and warm. Keep them nice and warm.
Yeah. At home, tea should be brewed for about 3 minutes, which Mrs S thinks is grossly overbrewed. So I keep showing her the box that even says let it brew for 2 to 3 minutes, and that's just me being picky. Apparently, there we go.
I let it brew for about 10 minutes. I like it nice and strong.
Nimrod says brewed so long a mouse can trot on top of it. Yes.
No, then you make coffee out of it.
That's That's good. 2747. Barista, how do you take your coffee? Me. Very, very seriously. Quite right. Quite right.
That's a good one.
Well, I like my coffee strong myself. I mean, I like my coffee like I like my men. Black.
Wasn't that a line from Airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little girl. little boy. Who was it? Effie Peer Review's going to try some caramel. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, that one was actually not that monin or monin syrup, which is what I usually get, and which is what you get in coffee houses. Just couldn't get hold of caramel for some reason, so I've just got a replacement one, which isn't bad, but the monin one is the best one. Jamaican Blue Mountain. I have tried Jamaican Blue Mountain. Only a very small amount. They'd had a coffee tasting thing. There was a guy who used to live in a village who was a barista, very much a coffee specialist. Something else I've tried is the Kopi Luwak.
I've told you not to use words like that.
You guys not tried it? Have you never seen that film, The Bucket List? Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson always drinking Kopi Luwak, and I can remember the actor's name, the black guy. Can't think of his name. Morgan Freeman. At the end, he cracks up and tells him what Kopi Luwak is. Kopi Luwak.
Does it come out of cats' bums or something?
That's right. Civet coffee, it's also known as civets. They will pick and eat the best beans. The acids in their stomach affect the bean, and they or the fruit, and they actually pass the bean. So their droppings are collected and dried, and the beans are picked out of them and cleaned. And yeah, it's civet coffee. It's the most expensive coffee in the world, I believe, and it certainly wasn't cheap, because we paid £15 for a couple of sachets and made 6 cups so we could all try it. I didn't tell anyone else what it was, so they could all try it first. And my impression was it was quite nice. It was not worth paying that sort of money for it, but it was quite nice. My daughter's impression when she found out what it was is she nearly threw up, because it's all been through a civet's bum hole.
That's just such a shitty idea.
I know, but it really does. It's a very smooth tasting coffee. Because, as I said, the acids in the stomach of the civets do change the bean. So it's worth a try. Get over the thought of what it was. It's all been cleaned and processed. But give Kopi Luwak to someone and then tell them what it is and watch their reaction.
But,
I'll just drink
who eats eggs?
Well, I do, but actually, I'll just address something else which Dora says, and she's quite right. The genuine and very expensive Kopi Luwak is basically collected from the wild. Unfortunately, they do farm civets, feeding them beans and collecting their droppings. But of course, apart from the fact it's cruel to the civets, they'll give them any old coffee beans because the civets will eat them. And so it's not that you're not getting the quality, because the civets would naturally pick the best beans. So it's a bad idea. Anyway, so if you are going to try Kopi Luwak, which I can recommend as something to try and get stuff that's guaranteed to be wild collected.
So just let me get this right.
Adam Falcom in the chat has a very good point. Is that a vegan? I mean, is that good for vegans then? Can vegans drink that coffee? Because it does come from an animal.
Technically, yeah. Well, it's passed through an animal, hasn't it? I mean, the wild caught stuff is doing no harm to animals, is it? It's not part of the animal, and the animal's living its natural life. But as Dora says, you've got to watch out for ones that are farmed, which would be cruelty to animals, and I guess would not be vegan, and actually wouldn't be me either. But was it you, Nex, was going to say something just a second ago?
I have this strange picture of somebody like running along behind civet cats with a little pooper scooper.
No, I think they'll just recognise them and go and collect them.
Yeah. Well, you want it to be fresh.
Well, no, they're just going to dry the poops to get the beans out of it, and then wash them. So yeah, you can go onto Amazon. I won't do the gag about the smart speakers saying the names, getting them to order stuff. But yes, you can have a look at Amazon. It's pretty expensive, but if you just want to try it, yeah, because you can just buy a sachet. I mean, you wouldn't buy a sort of full-size tub of it. That would be hideously expensive. Definitely.
Usually, whenever you buy it like off Amazon, it's enough for like 1 or 2 cups.
Yes, exactly. And as I said, we bought a couple, divided it quite a lot, just so we could all try it. I was the only one who knew what it was when I drank it. None of the others did. Most of the people
So
said,
you drank it rather weak then. So you must have had it.
No.
rather weak.
We made it full strength, just had a small amount each.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, that makes good sense.
But as I said, I was the only one who knew what it was, and I didn't have a problem with it at all. And most others, is it really? You kidding? No. Oh, right. Well, it tastes all right. But as I said, my daughter nearly threw up, and she was rather angry that I made her eat something that came out of an animal's bum.
So, Mr. Sensible, would you say the coffee was passable?
I thought it was quite nice. Yes. Ha ha. Yeah.
No, but
If you said, "Oh, would you like a cup of Kopi Luwak?" I'd say yes. If you said, "Do you want to buy some Kopi Luwak?" I'd say, "Well, to be honest, no. I'll buy this other one, which I think is a nicer flavour or is an equivalent but a lot cheaper." I don't think it was worth the money, but it was worth the experience.
But if someone asked you if you wanted cat shit coffee, you would say no.
Cat shit coffee.
Arnold,
Arnold, I've got a new career for you. I'm starting a new line of merch, Mr.
Yeah, feed him coffee beans.
Does anyone eat ham?
Ham?
Yeah, it's a pig's butt.
Well,
but also like eggs, they come out of a chicken.
Yes, I used to have chickens, and once I went to collect the eggs, and quite often the hens will be sat on them, and you have to sort of shove your hand underneath. Just as I did, she laid an egg, and it comes out soft, but hardens within a second. So this egg literally landed in my palm and then went hard. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You turned the egg on there, Mr. Sensible.
Well, we haven't got any more chickens now. We let them go because of reasons. Gave them away.
Oh.
We had a chicken that my daughter called Duck, but my wife loved her because every time she went down there to let them out, feed them, Duck would run right up to her for a cuddle. Absolutely lovely creatures.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then when you had them for dinner, did you complain?
No, we didn't eat. But we had kept chickens before and some cockerels, and we did get a couple of the cockerels slaughtered and dressed, and we had them for a Sunday lunch. That was a bit harder, thinking, am I going to... But my daughter, we didn't tell her. She'd eaten roast chicken and that, and we said, so what do you think of the chicken? Oh, it was great. Do you realise that was one of our chickens? And she was about 7 years old. She looked at me and went, whatever, can I have some more? So that was cool, because we never hid it from them, about things like that.
I was out in Italy, staying at a farm, and I'd been out for a walk up the mountains, and I came back and found a note from my wife. She said, I've had to go into town. I've plucked and stuffed the chicken. All you've got to do is kill it and put it in the oven.
And this was back when the time whenever you had to grab it by the neck and start swinging it around.
Well, I have kept chickens on and off for many years, and I only did it on the understanding that if I need, because chickens can get very sick very quickly, and don't want them to suffer. That if it came to it, I'd have to kill them. You can't wait for a vet or whatever. We got some friends who are farmers and that they could deal with it, but I thought no, even that, it's not fair to make an animal wait. So I have had to dispatch a chicken a few times, and I did it for the animal's sake. I felt absolutely terrible though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they say running around like a chicken with its head cut off, that's because chickens really do run around whenever, because the nerve endings don't quite make it.
Have you ever seen? There's a famous story about a chicken in the States from, I don't know, the 1920s or whatever, that they went to chop its head off and it moved, and they basically chopped its head off, but it had a little bit of its brainstem, and it lived.
Yeah.
It lived. It didn't have a head, and they had to feed sort of in the stump of its neck, but they took it on tour to show people. It was quite famous. I don't know what happened to it in the end.
Yeah, that's strange.
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
I don't know. Well, we're at 10 to 11. I think what I'm going to do is wind the stream up, guys. So you're welcome to stay a while in the live waiting room, and I shall pop in. Has anyone got any last words to say? Famous last words?
Yes, whatever you do, don't press the...
Oh no, I've pressed it and Nextpro's got thrown out. Sorry. What about you, Zoomi? Any last words?
All I have to say is be excellent to one another and blessed be.
And party on, dude!
And party on, dude!
Thank you, Zoomi. I'll pop you in the waiting room. And Lone Tech, thank you for joining us tonight. Any words of wisdom to share?
Well, not really, but spherical geometry is fun.
Excellent. Difficult, but fun. Thank you. You take care. Again, I'll pop you in the live waiting room. You're welcome to stay as long as you wish. And anyone else who's out there can jump into live waiting room if they just want to chat off stream. Okay, so please feel free to come in. And Brainless, you're next on the list, working up.
Don't take life too seriously. Nobody gets out alive anyway.
That's true. Although I plan to live forever. But thank you for that, Brainless. You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And Andreas, how are you?
Yeah, I'm nice. Just shield my channel in the.
Yes, I saw. Yeah, there's a link in there. Yes, by all means. And I'll say again, Mohammed Shafiq's channel. I just see Mo still in here. Please check out the channel. Give him some support, because I know that some of these gits have given Mo rather a bad time, and he deserves it. Not the bad time, he deserves the support. You know what I mean. Okay, well, thank you, Andreas. We'll see you again sometime soon. Thank you. Right, everybody, thank you very, very much for joining me. Very much enjoyed it. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the guests who came on. Thanks to the guests who didn't get on. I apologise. Thanks for Super Chats, members and patrons. Don't forget, tomorrow night I'm going to have a live premiere of a chat stroke debate on Bev's channel. It's not specifically with Bev. I think it was me versus about 10 people, but they were pretty good guys generally, so it was quite interesting. There's sort to be some stupid in there, especially from a certain person who I had bitch made a couple of years ago. So please watch out for that. Take care. Until next time, stay sensible.
Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese, and get me only the best if you please. Here are some flowers, let me display them. Yea, Dr. Warlow, you have gone all slay them. Mr. Sensible, you are a man. Every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out, please. Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jump off the roof. It's hard enough, let me go further. Why was I ever such a darn flat earther? Mr. Sensible, I'm such a clown. I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help me out, please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere to which the waters of the oceans adhere. Add explanations that let me be kind.